We continue our chat on how to identify suspicious people, and we add vehicles in there. We have some feedback on some meetings that happened in the past. We introduced our first guest presenter for the evening, our regular first aid tip, and then, of course, the big thing, our show gets a name. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to yet another show. I think we're standing on episode 6 about tonight, the last time you're going to see the show without the name. But before we go anywhere like that, as always, my partner in crime fighting, if I can just find him, Graham. There he popped up. Graham, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Aristone. How are you?
Young, excited. We finally got a name for our show. So I think... yes, it's about time, and we're excited about that, eh?
I'm actually looking forward to find out who it is, who's won this evening, to get that hamper, and to be honest, to find out what the name is, because I'm in just as much in the dark as everybody else at the moment.
Yep, and we're going to keep the people in suspense a bit longer. So yeah, come view. If you want to know what the name is going to be, you're going to have to wait a bit longer, but we will get there. And I think, we're going to be surprised of what we got tonight. So also tonight, Graham, the show a bit of a difference. And I think we can thank Eskom for that, because you know what they say, load shedding has ended, but we never know. You know, sometimes you're on level 1, next thing you know, level 6 and no one's got power.
Yeah.
So we decided not to get guests on tonight because, you know, we might have power, they not. But the show is going on. We've got a full show. We've got our first sort of a guest presenter tonight. And we'll tell you a bit more about that later. Let me see. I must now just go through my list. So, you know, after all this, I still can't remember everything. I still have to go to my list. Where are we?
While you're going through that list, just from a Neighborhood Watch perspective in the last week, we had all of the meetings that were advertised, and we'll get back on some of those meetings shortly. But yes, the Neighborhood Watch AGM took place, and just want to, on that note, say thank you to everybody who came out. It was great to see a lot of new faces and a lot of the general public coming in to support us and to chat with us and to let us know what's happening on the ground from an outside of Neighborhood Watch perspective. We listened to a couple concerns. We could give a little bit of advice where possible. And we managed to hand out some enrollment forms. So looking forward to getting those back from everybody who took them home to complete. So I think it was very successful. And then we had our briefing on Tuesday evening. That was well attended. It was great to make contact with everybody. Obviously, COVID rules all applied, masks, etc., social distancing. But it was very good to have everybody out and just to get out onto the road again.
Yeah, no, it is. It's nice to see our fellow patrollers and have a chat. We normally pass each other at a Zoom in the cars, patrolling or something. So yes, it's nice to meet up with them in the briefings. I think also, while you're on that, folks, we also had the BRA. They also had their first sort of big meeting after COVID and all that. And I know a lot of people have asked us, have you got any feedback for us? Have we got any feedback? Unfortunately, we do not have any feedback for you. We are not sort of part of BRA. We support them. We were at the meetings, but myself was there as a service provider. Graham was in the audience. There was a lot of questions asked. There was a lot of feedback from people, I think positive and negative. But I think, again, the big thing we can take away here is it was well attended. And I think if meetings go on and we have them, even if the people support them like they supported that one, big issues will become smaller issues and be dealt with quicker. So I think also that was a nice turnout for the BRA, and I was happy to see so many people attending that as well.
Yeah, I must be honest, I was quite surprised. That was my first BRA meeting as a resident. So I was looking forward to it. I enjoyed the feedback that came through, which was great. I mean, we don't necessarily agree with everything we hear, but that's life, I suppose. I don't agree with everything I hear anyway. But it was good to hear what was going on. Exciting to hear some of the changes that were going to be coming through. But yes, if you really want to know further, I think get hold of the BRA, and they will be able to assist you with any additional questions you have, or any questions based on that meeting as well.
Yes, I think one thing maybe that we can mention, and I think that was a concern of a lot of people. I think Graham did mention it, BRA Graham, when he was on the show. There was the question raised about, are we getting a taxi rank at ShopRite and what's going on at ShopRite? It has been confirmed again, there is nothing on the cards for a taxi rank in our area. So, folks, as far as we know, no taxi rank coming in this area. So that's at least, well, I don't know if it's a good thing, but we'll just leave it at that. We won't go any further than that. That's not our job. So, Graham, a few other things. I think let's quickly, before we move on, folks, let's just bring this up quickly. If you want to chat to us, you can throw a comment in the comment section. I think there's quite a few comments popping through. We'll try and get to them and answer them as we can. But we've also got a WhatsApp line. There you can see them on the screen. And I must apologize. With our new camera setup, you can't always see our screens. So you'll have to just read nicely there what the numbers are, because our cameras are blocking off our screens. I don't know, Graham, I think you've got the same problem. Cameras blocking your, we can't see.
Yes.
But that's the joys of hosting a show, eh? We'll work around it.
Yeah.
But our WhatsApp line is open. If you want to pop us a WhatsApp, this line is unfortunately only open on show nights. Sort of, we open it from 7 o'clock. So you're welcome to pop us a WhatsApp there. You can email us at liveshow@extra.co.za. That is for anything. If you've got any suggestions for the show, if you know of someone that would like to come and join us on the show, we're still looking for people, that's got a bit of a home business or just wants to chat to us and say, hey, this is what I do. Please support me. Hey, I'm a one-man band. I can play in your garage party or your braai for you or something. Yeah. Get in touch with us and let's give those people a bit of exposure and help them out. If there's any neighborhood watchers or CPFs watching from upcountry or anywhere, guys, please get in touch. We'd love to have you on the show and chat a bit and see how you guys work, where you are, and share with everybody. Yeah, that's the idea of the whole show. So let me just see the comments are coming in. Tracy, yes, we see all your comments. Thank you. Debbie's put a comment there. Let's put up there. I don't know if that's such a good one to put up there, but yeah, we'll put it up in any case. There we got another one. So yeah, folks, it's going on. We're going on. Let me just quickly check. As I say, I'm losing my way in all the stuff here. There's lots of buttons to press tonight. So Graham, before we go anywhere further, I don't know if you remember this from last week.
Yes, I do. And the fact that that's made it onto the show again is making me a little nervous, because that can only mean one thing.
It's making me a little nervous. So, folks, those of you that watched last time, we had the ladies from Energy School of Dance on, and they had a lovely chat to us about what's going on here, this line dancing, and we were brave enough to, or I was brave enough to say, hey, I don't see any men in that group. Do men do this? And they say, not really. It's more for the women. The men go and visit the bar where they are, and we agreed that's the place to be. And lo and behold, what would happen? A comment pops up in there, challenge to all the neighborhood watch men to do a line dance competition. And we were like, nah, that's not for us. And then what happened? The people from the dance school got in contact with me and says, that sounds like a wonderful idea. We've got some awesome ideas to do something like this. So, folks, it looks like the challenge has been set. We're going to have a bit more chat to the people from the dance school. and get some ideas there. It looks like they want us, or well, not us. They want the men to come and do some line dancing. Graham, I don't know how I'm going to get that right with these feet, and that's not for me. But we'll have to take up the challenge, eh?
No, my garage has got a meter-length ruler, and that's about the only line I'm going to get right.
But yeah, folks, so the challenge has been put down there. We will definitely get hold of be in touch with the guys from the Energy School of Dancing there. Yes. And we'll keep you up to date about what we're going to do and how that's going to work. So let me see. That is about sort of the general information we have. So, okay, let me also I said we're going to change the show around a bit tonight with the fact that we said we're not going to have any live guests. We're going to just have a chat to everybody. Yeah. We're going to have our guest presenter on, and Graham will introduce her. Now, it's I will tell you, it's one of our juniors. You've heard us talk about our junior patrollers. So we've actually got one of them doing a little segment for us tonight. And you will start seeing our juniors hopefully more and more on the show. Yes. But I think we'll chat a bit about the juniors after we've had our insert. So I think on that, Graham, you can introduce our first guest presenter. Let me get myself out of here, and the floor is yours.
There we go. We are bringing Jessica on board. Jessica Rothman. There we go. Hi. Jessica, how are you this evening?
I'm good, and you?
No, can't complain. Why aren't you studying? Why aren't you doing homework? I hope that's all done.
It is all done. I did it all this afternoon.
Okay. No, that's perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Jessica, you're going to give us a bit of a breakdown of what's happened in Boerdersig in the last week. So can I hand over to you to spill the beans a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. Let's hear what you have to say.
Well, our Neighborhood Watch AGM meeting was held on Thursday, the 13th of May. And we'd like to thank our patrollers and members of the community, for joining us. We had a brief feedback session from our ward councillor, Helen Carstens, and the chairman of the Neighborhood Watch, Orscott Association. After all of that, a new committee was elected, and I would just like to congratulate the following of the committee and wish them well for the rest of the year. Orscott Association, the chairman, Graham Butler as the vice chairman and the PRO, Brenda Hakim as the secretary, Alan Pence as the treasurer, Frankie Rodriguez as the ops coordinator, Hendrik Wilmot as the ops coordinator as well, Gary Conradi as the communications and LPR, Sean Busby as in training, Mandy Lee as the events and fundraising, Michelle Skippers, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, in events and fundraising as well. And our weekly briefing has started every Tuesday at 8, as Graham has said. And the locations will be shared on a Monday or a Tuesday, depending on the weather. Please look at and keep an eye on our WhatsApp groups. And if you want us to visit or chat to you, just let us know and contact us via your street watch or emailing us at liveshow@etsera.co.za, and we will pass you on to your relevant persons.
Perfect, Jessica. Thank you so much. How's it been your first time live on YouTube and Facebook?
Well, I'm kind of nervous. Never really done this before, but it's going pretty well. You get a nice thrill out of it too.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time. This is, as Arista has mentioned earlier on, we're going to carry on with this a little bit, where the juniors will come in, interview people, play a role in this, and we look forward to seeing you back here again with the rest of the juniors.
All right.
Thank you so much. There we go. Arista, my friend.
Wait. Here we go.
There we go. You're back as well. Arista, I don't have a sheet in front of me. What's next on the line?
Well, I think before we get next on the line, I heard Jessica said there, she's a bit nervous. I'm going to tell her, Jessica, don't worry. We're still a bit nervous ourselves. I think when the counter starts running 30, when it gets to 5, you're like checking, hey, is everything right? Have we got the right stuff there and all that? So she's not the only one that's nervous. Even after episode 6, we still get a bit nervous when we have to go live on this thing. It's not so easy. So I take my hat off to her for joining us tonight. Before we go any further, there's another one. The challenge is still on. That's referring to the line dancing. Tracy, yes, no, we'll work on it. We'll definitely work something on that challenge. We can't let that one go. And then we've got a question here. Where is the line dancing? Stella, it is I Pick Play in Durbanville, if I remember correctly, on a Tuesday night. Just go on if you go on Facebook and go search for Energy School of Dance, you will find their page and they've got all the details on there. I'm not sure if I've still got the contact details. I'll check now and then we'll put it up. But yes, I think the best is just search for them on Facebook. And yeah, we'll go. And yes, there's there. Wait. I don't know if Jess is still going to see it. I see she's still backstage. Jess, I don't know if you can see that message. Someone is proud of you. Not bad for the first time around.
Most definitely.
Karen, yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. There's another well done to Jess there. Ooh, Jess, you've got lots of fans. Look, there's another one. So I think we'll definitely get Jess and the other juniors back. A lot more to come and help us, and the people don't have to watch us the whole time. So let's see. Where are we? As I say, we also get lost on this. So, Graham, I think juniors, the people have heard us talk about the juniors. They've sort of met our first junior. She is one of, I think we've got about 20 juniors that we've got out there. I think what we'll do, folks, just quickly, briefly, just tell you what our juniors are all about. And firstly, they haven't been around that much lately due to the fact of the ugly word we all don't like, COVID-19. Of course, for us, the health and the safety of our juniors is top priority. We're not going to bring them out and get them together if there's even a chance that something can happen. We don't want to expose them to any ugly bugs and viruses. So, and I can't really say when it's safe to do so. I don't know if it will ever really be safe. But as soon as things lightens up a bit, I don't know if that's the right word, we will get our juniors together again and we'll definitely get them on the show and start introducing them, and they'll do little interviews for us. They have been involved in quite a few things so far.
We've done the school walk. I think it was a fun run or a fun walk at Baltimore School. They were involved in the switching of the lights. That was probably their biggest role so far. They were presenters on that show. And then we've done what was that dance? The Jerusalem dance. They were involved in that as well.
Some of them do that. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I started with that and realized I had 2 left feet, where all of these young ladies and gents knew. I think they're more in touch with their toes than I am. Put it that way.
No, definitely. And, that's why we stay behind the cameras and the stuff.
Yes, the fun walk that we had, the Buddhist Neighborhood Watch fun walk, I know that they were instrumental in that, in just helping keeping safety and children out of the road. And then I think it was just the standard odd patrols and a little bit of teaching and engaging with them from a Neighborhood Watch perspective.
Yeah, we took them on a few little walk patrols. A lot of the times we had SAPs and AR companies back us up and go out with them. 1 or 2 have actually been out on some of the smaller ops we've done so they can see how it's working. The basic idea behind the juniors is, you know what, we struggle to get people to join, and we all know it's a bit hard. So the idea is we get the juniors involved now. We teach them all the stuff of Neighborhood Watch. As soon as they turn 18, we've got them all ready. No training required. We sign them on. And we've got more members to join the Neighborhood Watch as full-fledged patrollers. But as I said, like everything else, COVID put a tremendous block on on the juniors as well, and we're hoping to get them out soon. As I say, otherwise we'll bring them on the show where it's safer. There's no contact, and we'll see how it goes. So keep your eye on the show. That will definitely be out there.
And just to put it out there, it's not just the Boertezig teenagers and kids. We've got, I think it's 1 or 2 girls from Edgemead involved as well, and it's open to the entire precinct. They will naturally slot into their watches as they become of age, but until then, it's just to build that strength, build that base, and give them the tools to understand what to identify and how to do things, and grow them into this type of community culture and awareness culture that we need to have within our communities.
No, definitely. So, folks, yeah, again, if you've got any, we're starting them at age 10 up until obviously 18, where they can then change into the if we can call it the senior neighborhood watch. So if you want more information, again, on Facebook page, on the Boertezig Neighborhood Watch, on the Extra Productions Facebook page, drop us a message, email us to liveshow@extra.co.za if you want any information, and we'll get you some forms and get you signed up. So Graham, I have to stop now here before we go any further. We've opened a can of worms with this line dancing, because here's another one.
Sorry, I don't have my glasses on the wrist. I can't
If
read
you're
that
not
from
so
here.
serious about the line dancing, please propose a date. I'm in. So it looks like this is happening, if we like it or not. This line dancing competition is going to happen. And there we got, there Debbie has confirmed fast. I Pick Play in Durbanville. That's where they have it every Tuesday night. So yeah, but please check on their Facebook page. They're posting on every night they have it. They post videos. It seems like they have a lot of fun. So Graham, I think maybe one night we'll actually go visit them and take a camera with and go see for ourselves what's going on there. We will arrange that.
Just remind me to sprain my ankle 5 minutes beforehand, please.
That's fine. We'll take a medic with us to make sure we stay nice and happy on that one. So yeah. So folks, that is totally interrupted my train of thought now. So okay. So that was sort of our juniors. So as you said, we'll bring a lot more of them. And then I think, Graham, last time we sort of touched on how to identify a sort of points to look at on identifying a suspicious person. I think what we're going to do tonight, we'll go a bit wider on that, and then give the people a few more ideas of what to look out for. And again, folks, you don't have to be a Neighborhood Watch member. If you see anything like this, that is something to look at. Alert your street watchers, make the people aware. So what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get this sorted here again quickly. We'll add this to the stream. We'll make Graham and myself small on the side. Now, you must excuse me. I'm going to lift to the side a bit here to read on my other screen. So last time we sort of showed you the pictures of, a suspicious person, sort of start from the bottom, work your way up, have a sort of things to look at. But now, who is suspicious? Not everybody walking in the road is suspicious. So we've got a few points down here. And also, I want to make this sort of not clear, but mention to people, your street people that are around, yes, they sometimes get up to mischief, but they are not usually the suspicious people. So I think one of the things is get to know your street. And when I say get to know your street people, don't invite them into your house for supper or something, but know who they are. And if you know Johnny sleeps in the park, Johnny is not really the suspicious person that you're looking out for. The people you are looking out for is the guy that's walking in the road, stopping, looking into cars, checking what's in the car, hanging on your fence, looking over the fence, trying to see what's in your yard. That guy is the suspicious guy. Not the guy that's going the brisk walk down the road, just getting from point A to point B. If he's just walking down there, minding his own business, he's usually not the guy you have to worry about. It's the guy that's loitering and doing all weird things. So someone running from a house or a business. Now, if you're just walking down, you're not just going to run because you like running unless you've done something or somebody is chasing you. Why is somebody chasing you? You did something wrong. So someone running away from a premises or a business or something like that, they usually up to no good, and you should keep an eye on them. On that, folks, I see here Colin has put a good thing here. You need to know your neighbors so you can identify who should or shouldn't be in the street. Colin, 100%. Get to know your neighbors. Again, you don't have to go bribe by your neighbors, but at least know who your neighbor is. What cars do they drive? And you'll see, that person comes and visits quite often. That's a family member or it's a friend. Get to know those people. Don't live in a little cocoon. Check out what's going on, and that way you keep your whole street and everybody safe.
Arista, I'll take it a step further and say that try and make sure you have at least a contact number for your adjoining neighbors directly over the road. So should something go down, should you see something in your neighbor's garden, that you can actually alert your neighbor as well.
Correct, yes. And the other thing that you can just do, maybe, as a street watch, put on your street watch, guys, tonight at 6:30, everybody just steps out into their gardens. And all you need to do is wave to your neighbor on the left, wave to your neighbor on the right, wave to the neighbor across the road. Not only are you sort of seeing who's around, getting to know your neighbors, but also people that are now coming down the streets are checking, hey, I shouldn't be here. These people are keeping a watchful eye. So, and you know what? Stand outside for 10, 20 minutes. Hello, wave, and go back in. Nice way of doing it also. Then, obviously, anybody walking around in the street carrying some sort of weapon. Now, again, folks, we know there are some of our homeless people that walk around and the guy's got like a little homemade baseball bat in his shoe or something like that. Again, if you get to know sort of, this guy is always in our road on bin day, and you'll see these are the regular bin scratchers, and this oak is wearing night tackies. He's not a regular bin scratcher. Those regular guys are not really the ones and I'm not saying they're always innocent, but the chances are that they are the ones that you don't have to worry about. Sorry, I lost my script here for a moment. Oops, that's gone now. So, yes, if a guy's walking around, if he's walking around with a panga in his hand, he shouldn't be having that. That is a problem. Don't go out and take it on, report it. Again, put it in your street watch. Hey, there's a guy walking around with a knife or something. Everybody, again, just walks out into the yard, watches this oak. He's going to think twice before he does anything. The other big thing, and I think people are not concentrating, or I don't know, say concentrating that too much anymore, is people walking around chatting to kids, not just young kids, anybody, people walking around, two guys walking around and maybe stopping your domestic that works for you in the road and chatting to, and they don't belong there. They're more than likely up to no good. Keep an eye on them. Again, we say someone that doesn't belong in the area, get to know the sort of people that are in the area. People walking around with things that can be stolen. Now, I know sometimes we get a report of guys saying, hey, there's a guy walking around with his TV under his arm or something like that. A guy walking around with a flat screen TV? Yes, that could be something bad. A guy walking around with an old, if we can call it the old-fashioned tube TVs with no inside, that's more than likely something that someone threw out. So sort of try and see what he's carrying around. Is he carrying around a old bicycle wheel with no spokes? Probably someone threw it away. Is he carrying around the entire bicycle that looks like it just came out of a shop? That's a problem. Then, people walking around ringing doorbells and that type of stuff. Again, you get your sellers, your fish sellers and all those guys. Sometimes they're also up to no good. So keep an eye on them. Again, tell your neighbors, these guys are here, walk out into the yard, have a look at them, see what's going on. If they see they're being watched, they think twice before they do anything. Persons loitering around schoolyards or in parks, you immediately, again, you'll see if a guy is hanging around the school or two or three guys hanging around the school, you will see they don't belong there. They just look dodgy. If it's your regular little street people, they're not going to sit outside of school, and when the school comes out, they're going to be in the park, or if it's warm, in the shade somewhere hiding. The guys that are sitting at the schools watching people, those are the ones that are checking. That guy's walking alone. He's got his cell phone in his hand. He's not concentrating. Let's grab the cell phone. strange vehicles parked in your area for several hours. Now, again, that comes down to know your neighbors, sort of know what cars they drive, what cars are regularly in your street. So if you suddenly see a car that doesn't belong, or it's the first time you see it, it could be something. Now, again, we're not saying everybody that's first time in your street is a bad guy, but pay attention, see who they are. Groups of people loitering or walking through your neighborhood, again, you will sometimes see these guys are up to no good. Your street people in general, you can see they're street people. They've got, I don't want to, it probably sounds a bit bad. They've got the older clothes on, his shoes might be broken. Those guys that come around walking with the old jacket, but he's got Nike shoes on, he's up to no good. That's the guy you must keep your eye on. So that's a few thoughts or things you can look at just by going in your street. And if you see that, just put it on your street watch and say, guys, these oaks looks up to no good. If everybody then just walks out of their house, stands in the yard, if this guy sees 10 people watching him, he's going to find somewhere else to go scratch and leave your place alone. A few other tips we can give you. If you're buying a new TV or you buy a new fridge, don't take the box and put it outside your house on bin day. Now, everybody that walks past there can see, hey, Johnny got a nice new 74-inch TV or whatever the sizes are these days. There's something new for us to steal. Yes, you have to get rid of the box somehow, but flatten it, put it out in recycling. Tear it up into smaller pieces if you can't fit it in your bin in one thing. But don't make people aware of, I've got a brand new appliance in my house. Come and steal it. I know we don't want to live like that, but that's unfortunately how it is these days. And we have to protect ourselves and make sure we don't become victims of all these kinds of things. So the other thing, cars. It is very important to sort of how to identify a suspicious car or what to look for when there's a funky car in your street. Now, these days, in the olden days, a lot of, I think, the wiser people like Graham and myself, when we grew up, if you see the front of a car, you can identify it immediately. That's a Toyota. That's a this. Now, these days, all the cars are built in the same factory. They pretty much all look the same from the front. You don't know who's who and what is what. Colors, when we used to have a blue, a yellow, and a gray car, now you've got opaque and sunset blue and lagoon orange and all these funky colors. So who knows what colors cars and stuff are these days? So there's a few things to look at. If I can persuade my slide to change. A few things to look out for on a car. Let me make this bigger for you. As big as I can. Come now, slides, cooperate. The first thing to look for when you see a vehicle in your road that doesn't belong, look and see what the license plate number is. You've all heard about LPR cameras. Now, don't try and remember the entire license plate. If you remember the first numbers, which is normally your CA or CAA these days with Cape Town, and even the first 3 digits or even 3 digits of the number plate, that's already a lot to help the guys find the vehicle on the cameras. Sort of look at, if we look at the slide there, look at if you can see how many people in the car, the number plate. Look at the back of the vehicle if it's driving away from you. Were all the lights working? Was there maybe a light out on the vehicle? If you can identify, was it a hatchback? Was it a sedan vehicle? If you can see it clearly enough to see the model, just say it was a Volkswagen hatchback. I think it was a Polo, but the registration number was it. If a car has a funny patch on it, maybe it's got one different door, or you can clearly see there's a crack in the windscreen or something like that. That's stuff to notice because that they can see on the cameras and they can help on that. Let's see what else we've got here. Again, note the number of doors. Most of the cars these days have got, well, they call it 5 doors and 2 doors. So is it a passenger vehicle? It will have 5 doors. Is it a sports vehicle? It will have 2 doors. Mostly of the time they won't use in your, if I can say in the area where you live, they won't use sports cars because they need the space. So one guy will come in, drop his 3 buddies. They'll need a boot to put the stuff in. They need to pick them up. So they won't be driving around in a Ferrari or that's a guy that wants to go hijack people on the N1. He'll have the fast, powerful car. The guys that are coming into our areas, they are the guys that will be in the Polos, the common car that everybody uses to sort of try and blend in. So make sure if you in your street, and I suppose a lot of people know that, some people might not, if you number 20, you should know on which side is number 18 and which side is number 22. So if you want to report something, you can say he went that way, or it's a lower number, or he went the other way to the higher numbers. That also helps neighborhood watch people if they come into the area, because they take note of these things as well to see, the house numbers run higher this way and lower that way. Because face it, who of us can always remember north, west, east, and south? I can't. So it's easy just to say you went, up towards number 1, and we know it's that direction. You went up towards number 14, we know it's the other direction. So there we go. The few basic things to look at then is try and get as much of the number plate, at least the numbers, the letters, 3 numbers. Check if there's any lights that are not working. See for any obvious damage, like he's got one dinged in door or something like that. That's all stuff that can help the LPR people find the car and track down where these oaks are going. So that is for another time. Let me just take that away. So I think sort of, Graham, that sort of covers the idea of things to look at and what to be aware of in your area, just in your own street.
Yes.
To help with information sharing and get rid of people in your. I think, see, there was a thing. What about people scratching in your bins? Again, it's a difficult one. But again, if you know your regular guys in the street, you'll know this guy is here every week just scratching for his little, this guy scratches for the tins, that guy scratches for the newspaper. Again, you'll sort of notice the guy that's here for bad things. He'll just walk, scratch, not take anything else, and he'll usually be a bit more nicely dressed or something. Unfortunately, we can't stop bin scratches. They will always be around by us everywhere. It's not a Bottasig thing. It is an everywhere thing.
There's also a freedom of movement, so you cannot stop them from being in the street either.
Yes.
What we can do, and I know I'm now going to tread on a little bit of thin ice, what you can do is you can decide for yourself whether you believe you should enable them by putting something out the whole time for them or hold it back. I put my bin out in the last minute so that it can attract the least amount of attention, which hopefully results in people realizing in my street that there's less opportunities. And when the opportunities are reduced, the number of traffic through our street will also reduce. But that is something that everybody has to decide for themselves what their approach to that scenario is.
That's it, yes. And also, I think if people can sort of get into the habit, try not to put, I know it's winter now, it's cold to get up in the morning. Try not to put your bin out the night before, because not only does it now attract these guys to come start scratching the night before, but someone can take that bin, push it against your wall, and they've got a nice step to climb over. Push it against a tree, and they've got a nice step to climb over, and use that to gain access to your garden or something. So, yes, we know it's a difficult one, but try and rather put your bin out in the morning and not in the evening. It's a very difficult one. But yes, definitely. Again, I see there is a comment here. Once your bin is in the street, folks, I know, again, we might get stoned for this, but once the bin is in the street, it is sort of public domain. When it's in your yard, if someone scratches, yes, not on. If the bin is in the street, it's in the public, they do sort of have the right to scratch in it. And if you don't encourage them or don't leave bread and stuff on it, they'll move on and go on. A lot of them are very decent. They will scratch what they need. They'll put it back and they'll go on. So, yeah, it's something unfortunately we have to live with, but we can manage it by just doing a few tips, like don't put out food, check the guys. Even if you'll be surprised if you sort of just greet that guy, they will return the favor at some stage. We've had some people that we not much in Watersag, but we've heard in other areas where the guys that actually stay sleeping on the stoops and the stuff, someone breaks into the building, they will sit there the whole night and guard that place because they know that is a safe place for them. So yes, we can't get, and again, that probably sounds ugly, we can't get rid of them. So you might as well use them to our favor. And it's a touchy subject, but there's ways of doing right and ways of doing wrong.
There's a comment about the horse and cart.
Yes.
Basically, exactly the same applies. They've got freedom of movement within certain, I'm assuming it's registered areas. They've got areas in which they can operate. And if they don't do anything illegal, then they are entitled to be on those roads. Nobody can do anything about it. If you feel that they are not, if you're paying them to dump something on your behalf and you don't believe they're dumping it in the correct place, then please don't pay them to dump it.
That actually makes you part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Yes.
If they know they're going to get work, if they come into our area, they're going to keep on coming into our area. And I think there's someone has just said us, Karen, you are absolutely right. As long as we support them, yes, and we do understand they also have to make a living. But yes, there are honest ones and there are less honest ones out there.
And they are part of the recycling process. A lot of them do actually collect and recycle those products. However, if we give them something that cannot be recycled, then the chances are it won't end up where it's supposed to end up. And that's a responsibility on the resident. We cannot blame the horse and cart people for everything. We enable, we supply them with sometimes the incorrect products. And we need to be aware of that. The onus lies on the resident as to who gives what and how that is handled.
So I think the other thing is also, and I'm going to mention it, we have had a lot of the people, the horse and carts, again, you get your good ones and there are some bad ones, where if we approach them and we stop them, they will stop their carts, they will get off, they will show us their licenses or their cards or whatever they've got. They will allow us to take a picture of them. They will say, meneer, mevrou, kom kyk op my cart. There's nothing here that shouldn't be here. We've had guys give us tip-offs of guys said, meneer, hulle behoort nie in die area nie en ek het gesien hulle het 'n persfiets op hulle ding gehad. So, yes, again, not all of them bad, but as long as people support them, and as Graham says, if you're going to give them rubbish, your grass cuttings, they can't get anything for it. They're going to go probably around the corner and dump it in the first open field and go on and see what they can get, metal or something to recycle. So, yeah, that's one of the things that we can do. And also, unfortunately, I don't have the number. I see someone has mentioned it here. There is the Orscott Association. They do look after these things. And if you see a horse being abused or you see, they doing something, the horse looks bad or anything, or the horse and car's been involved in an accident we've had a few times, you can call them and they will come out and assist and help that. As I say, unfortunately, I do not have their number on hand.
Arissa, I've got a number. However, I don't know how up to date this number is. So
Graham, give it, folks, please, if anybody has got the number, please post it us in the comments or anything. But I'm sure if you also go on Facebook, we will try and get the correct number and we will share it on the next show as well. So yeah, I think we thought we were going to have to struggle to fill up the show. We're running way far. But folks, I think that's some useful information we shared here tonight, and I hope you'll use some of this information and help the neighborhood watch protect the rest of the neighbors in the area. So I think, Graham, anything else that you can think of we can quickly mention on this before we move on to the next one?
No, I think that's fine. I think I'm ready for Alan.
So there we go. Let me just quickly get rid of that. So folks, briefly moving along then, our weekly, let me just get the right all stuff here, our weekly first aid tip. I'm not sure what Alan and Graham is going to chat about tonight, but yeah, let's see what they've got for us.
Good evening, Alan. How are you?
Fine, yourself. How are you, Graham?
No, I can't complain, Alan. Can't complain. It's been a busy week, but it's been a good week. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you. Busy week, but a good week.
Yes. Alan, we've gone through so many scenarios of what can happen. And I know in time some of our scenarios will overlap a little bit. But for example, if somebody had to fall over, right? There's multiple options of what it could be. What type of things should I look for if I come across somebody who I've seen just fall over?
Well, the first thing to do is actually to see that they're actually breathing and they've got a pulse. That if they're not responding to you when you speak to them and they're unresponsive,
Yes.
is to check if they've got a pulse and if they're breathing, because then you know whether they are still with us or they've passed on,
Yes.
or possibly passing on. So the best thing to do there is to check for carotid pulse, which is the pulse in your neck, which is normally sits about there. If you can see on my finger, the hand is.
Yes.
If you're not sure exactly where it is, take one finger, pass it under the chin there, and put two fingers below it, and you should find where the carotid pulse is and see if you can feel a pulse. The other thing is to check if they're breathing. Look if there's movement on the body, on the chest or the stomach, where you can see movement for breathing. If not, listen at the mouth, see if they're breathing. If they're not, we might have to start CPR. Because if that's delayed, that can also cause the fact that the CPR is delayed. Then when the medics get there, they would have to either declare the body if it had no CPR, but if CPR has been started, they would actually carry on and try and resuscitate that person normally.
Talk about that. Now we've got the medics are on their way. What can I do in preparation for a medic? Is there a position I can put them in? A way to move an arm or cross a leg, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, well, if the person hasn't got any spinal injuries or physical breaks in that, and they are breathing and they've got a pulse, you can, like if they've had a faint or something like that, you can put them in a recovery position, which is lying semi on their side onto the, and you pull up our leg and you pull the arm out. But we'll have to show you a diagram of the actual what we call the recovery position. You keep them comfortable in that position until the medics get there. If, as I said, if they're not breathing and that, then you have to start your CPR. CPR started early will save lives as well.
Okay. Well, Alan, for one of our next segments, if we can get that picture ready. I've got a rough idea in my mind. I've seen it once or twice, but it is something that we probably all should refresh on to make sure that we do, that we are familiar at least with that position.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is what we'll do in the future, we're going to have to start putting segments in where we got audio, visual instructions so that people can actually see what's happening. You know, chatting about it is all good and well, but people need to see exactly how it's done. So we're going to have to start putting some audios together.
Well, can we arrange that for the next show? And
we can try.
We can put that together.
Yeah, we can try. We can try and put something together to get some visuals that the people can actually see what's happening.
Perfect. Then can you tell me, in closing, basically, what wise words or pearls would you like to leave with us for the next 2 weeks?
Well, it's always difficult in the medical game. It's very difficult to leave wise words because you never know what's going to happen. Yes. But I would say to the people at this stage, stay safe. With COVID around, stay safe, sanitize, wear your mask, keep your distancing. If we can continue doing that. We're going to get this. We can break the back of the devil that we have at the moment. So let's try and get rid of the COVID first.
Perfect. Alan, thank you so much once again for your time, and look forward to chatting with you in the next 2 weeks.
That's right. And let's try and get some. We'll try and get some videos for that show.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alan. There we go.
There we go, folks. Thank you. Some other wise words. Quick one tonight because we're dying to get. Well, I shouldn't say we're dying. We want to get to the main part of the show, which is coming up pretty soon. Just quickly on the cart horse, I see we've had several people coin numbers and stuff here. Let me just see. This one has got most of the information. Thank you very much, Christelle. Folks, there is a number and also a website where you can go get information about the Cart Horse Association. We have used them. They've assisted us a few times. So please go look at the website, have a look there and see what they're up to. But yeah, save that number. 082. It looks like, that's right. 082-6599-599. Save that number. If you need their assistance, give them a call and they will come and help out on that one. So there we go. Whoops. I keep on losing my place tonight. I don't know what's going on. Technology is not working tonight.
Yeah.
Let me just see, folks, before we get to sort of the important thing, let's just make sure we haven't missed any other important things on our list. I don't think we have, Graham. I think we've covered pretty much a lot tonight.
Yes.
Let's just go through here. Graham has not got his glasses and my tablet keeps on dying on me. So we're fighting a losing battle tonight. Oh, before we get to the naming of the show, we almost forgot this. Let me just get there. Folks, as always, a show like this cannot be possible if we don't have people supporting it. And we have just that. We've got some sponsors. And again, our main sponsor for the show, there we go, Total Control Electrical. They're one of the big sponsors. They've also sponsored quite a nice prize that we're going to give away tonight for the person that, for the naming of the show. So please go and visit Dave and the guys, Shop 4 Village Center. They open Monday to Friday. They open on a Saturday morning, I think. 1 o'clock. I don't want to say 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock. So please go pop in there. Dave and the team, anything you need to fix your house, replace a switch, everything, they've got it there. Go have a chat to them. And then, of course, Extra Productions that puts this whole thing together for us and does all the behind the scenes and puts the whole show together. And then Geardo RC, we've had them on the show. That's Graham's baby. We'll chat a bit about them one stage again, just give you an update. They play with radio control cars. It's quite fun as well. So thank you to the sponsors. And I think on that, Graham, it's not really the small cars, but you've got something to do with the big cars.
Yes. If I can ask you to put that up because I just need to double check the date. Off the Beaten Track is a group of South Africans, all in Cape Town, with the goal of enjoying a 4x4 experience in various places in Cape Town. However, as a group, we would like to do charity events, which we've been involved in a few of them already. And we have one coming up that's actually very close to our area. So anybody who wants to get involved in a fun 4x4 day and at the same time give back to the community, give back to one of the charities, then I'd like to invite you out to Outrecht Putt. I think, if I remember correctly, it's the 30th of May. So it'll be Saturday, the 30th of May at about 8:30. It's 200 Rand entrance, of which 50 Rand of that, I think, goes through to the charity. And then we would like you to bring a can of baked beans or bring a blanket or even some items of clothing as a donation. And then that all off the beaten track then puts that together. I think there's 50 families that they're wanting to assist. So, yes, I'd just like to invite everybody out to come have a great day and support a charity at the same time. Off the Beaten Track has their own YouTube channel, so you can contact them on their YouTube channel, which is Off the Beaten Track South Africa, as well as a Facebook page. So please, if you would like to join, meet the guys who are involved in that, come through for the day and come drive with us. Get hold of them on Facebook, make yourself known, and we can get you more details that way as well. But yeah, no, that is perfect, Arista.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds like it's something going to be. So yeah, folks, please support them as well. As Graham says, he gave you all the details. Again, if you miss any of the details, just hit us up on our Facebook page, on the Extra Productions one. For those of you that also, there is a group that we had to create to get all the voting. You can join the group. We'll post updates there and so on and so on and so on and so on. And we're just wasting time to get to the show name now. So Graham, all excited. The show has been going
to find out
for 6 episodes without a name. I think it's time we give the show a name. What do you think?
Most definitely. What were the options again, Arista?
Well, let me find them. So, let me explain to you the process. People can wait a bit more. We had the whole process going. We had people suggest some names for us. Graham thought of a few names. We had one of our sponsors give us a few names. We took all those names. We sort of put them together. And we had a panel of like 6 independent people. Well, not really independent. Myself and Graham obviously was involved. Some of our other members and someone that's not linked to us at all. We told them, these are the names. Choose 4. So everybody chose their 4 names. We had another sort of round where we had 2 names that were very close to each other. And again, we put it out to sort of the main 4-5 people on the little, if I can call it, committee. They then selected, and then we took the 4 names and we smacked them out on Facebook for voting. And if I can just unlock my phone, yeah. So the names, the suggestions we got up was the Power Hour. We had Precinct Matters. We had the Precinct Show, and we had Comwatch.
Okay.
So those were the 4 that people could choose from, and I'm going to just hang you on a little bit more. And then on that, we decided, well, to make this a bit more interesting, let's give the winning someone that suggests a name, or if a name that we suggested wins, we would take someone that was voted for it as a winner. And we got quite a nice prize, eh? What have we got? We got 1,000 Rand gift voucher from Total Control.
That's correct. We've got a Giedo Etsera gift voucher with Canal Walk.
Yeah. And then we've got I'm going to try and put it in front of the camera. I don't know if you can see it. These lovely fire lighters. And trust me, we've used them plenty. So I hope winner likes to buy, because you're getting 2 or 3 buckets of these. And you can share it with your friends. But these are awesome little fire lighters. We had these ladies on the show as well. So, and just we must just say, like in everything else, folks, the Total Control voucher, it's not exchangeable for cash. You have to go into the shop and you can buy for up to 1,000 Rand. It's not exchangeable to cash. I say we must just say that in the sort of disclosures and all that type of stuff. Obviously, what we got, a Canal Walk voucher. You can't change that for cash. It comes on a card. You can go buy at any shop in Canal Walk with a card, so it's not linked to a certain shop. And then, yes, the fire lighters, you can go buy by anybody you want. You've got enough fire lighters to go on for quite a while. So it's almost that time. But I think first, we're going to announce the winner of the name suggestion voting. Then we will have on the next show, we'll have all the nice photo sessions. But so the name that won was actually suggested by somebody. So it wasn't one that Graham and I thought of. And our winner on that is Tracy Combrink. So she suggested the winning name, and we'll be in touch with Tracy to get her a prize.
Well done, Tracy.
Yeah. So, what else? What else is there before we announce the name? Well, we can say next week next show we're gonna start up with a brand new spanking name, and hopefully by that time, Graham and I put our heads together and come up with a nice fancy intro. But Graham, what do you think? What is the winning name here tonight?
So we had the Precinct Show, Comwatch,
Power Hour, and Precinct
Power
Matters.
Hour. So I can handle this two ways. I've either got to guess what I think Tracy would have chosen. Yeah, I'll probably go with Comwatch.
Nope, you got it wrong. And if I look at the time, we should be ending the show cool, because from next time, you'll be joining us on the Power Hour.
The Power Hour, there we go. Thank you to everybody who's voted. Tracy really appreciates it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and the new name comes out soon. We'll probably have a logo up for it and a new entrance. So looking forward to that. I think from my side, Arista, I'm actually going to start saying cheers so you can end off. But looking forward to seeing you 2 weeks' time and engaging with the community again. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Graham. Wait. Before you run away, there's comments flooding in here. There we go. A lot of congratulations there to Tracy. And then Tracy herself, thank you, guys. Tracy will be in touch to arrange for you to get your prize. Graham, Thank you very much. We'll see you on the 2nd of June.
Perfect. Cheers.
Good evening. There we go, folks. Another full show. And looking at the time, I have to end off now. Otherwise, we're not living up to our name. I think the Power Hour is going to be it's got quite a nice ring to it. So, yes, that's it for tonight, folks. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time when you join us on the Power Hour. Good night and stay safe.